And then there was Portland. And then there was Los Angeles. The Trailblazers. The Lakers. One of the most compelling 1 versus 8 matchups that I can remember in quite some time. But first off, before we get into this matchup, let me salute what Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Yusuf Nurkic, Carmelo Anthony, Gary Trent, Hassan Whiteside, this entire Portland coaching staff, what they have been able to accomplish going into that bubble and playing their hardest. The Phoenix Suns were the hottest team in the bubble, but I'd argue that the Portland Trailblazers, they played the hardest in the bubble, and they have been rewarded with their playoff spot. They knew they had to hawk them dang Memphis Grizzlies down. And not only did they catch Memphis, but at the end, they were even able to get that advantage, meaning they only had to win 1 game against the Grizzlies to advance to the 8th spot. I thought that was big, and I did not expect it. I did not expect Memphis to be that bad, but obviously Jaren Jackson going down with the injury. But I don't want to take anything away from Portland. Damian Lillard is playing MVP level basketball. They have incredible guard play. They're not playing any defense at all. Let me tell you, let's be honest about it. The Portland Trailblazers are playing, can you beat us to 130 points? Because that's what it's going to take to beat Portland consistently. They're not even trying on defense right now. Watch some of their film if you have the chance. They're not even remotely trying on the defensive side of the basketball. They're just like, you know what? It is what it is. It is a side of the ball. We just don't care about it right now. Melo ain't trying to play no defense. CJ's got a fractured back and he's undersized. Dame is having to carry these guys multiple spurts of the basketball game. Yusuf Nurkic ain't known for his defense, though he ain't awful defensively. Gary Trent's undersized as well. Hassan Whiteside a lot of times just doesn't have the effort because he can be good defensively. That's the reality of the situation in Portland, but they're here. A dangerous 8th seed. And let's be clear, they shouldn't be an 8th seed. And, you know, if Yusuf Nurkic was healthy, maybe Portland would be better than what they are this season and not even in the spot where they're fighting for a playoff spot. They should be around a 4 seed, 3-4 seed somewhere this year. But I do feel like Portland underwhelmed for most of the season, but they were damn great in the bubble. And now we got that Portland Trailblazers team against my Los Angeles Lakers. Though I am a Laker fan, y'all know I give it up to you guys unbiasedly. That is my job and my duty, and I'll do that. Even with this breakdown, it pains me a lot to tell you what I'm about to tell you. So I'm asking you guys, can the Lakers get to 130 points? That's the question. I've watched the Lakers pretty much every game of the bubble. I have not liked what I saw. Now, there are people around me telling me, yo, they took their foot off the gas. The first night, they went their hardest. They clinched against the Clippers, the number 1 spot in the West. And from there on, they took their foot off the gas. That's not what I saw with that LeBron James, Anthony Davis-led Lakers team in the bubble in Orlando. I saw good, not great LeBron, and I saw average, not good Anthony Davis. Now, LeBron has turned it on time and time again in the postseason. He's been able to mentally go places that everyone else has not been able to go in his career in the playoffs, especially the round 1s, the 2s of the world. He can go places that no one else has been able to go, unless your name is like Michael Jordan or Kobe or something like that. But I have to be honest. I gotta be honest. And I'll do a different video on this explaining my thoughts more. But I think what has happened with the bubble in Orlando is it's made guys put everything else aside, their families aside. They can't go to the club after the games, and guys are doing that in the playoffs. They ain't with their side chicks. They ain't even with their wives right now, they kids. I think the bubble has neutralized one of LeBron James's biggest gifts. We know he has infamously known, since that Dallas series, he's done the 0 dark 30 activated thing, right? Since the Heat lost to Dallas many, many years ago. It works for LeBron. Phone down. If you ain't my wife or my kids, leave me alone for May, June. Leave me alone. It's playoff time. I gotta go be the best version of myself. And that led to that brother making 8 straight NBA finals. But, and there's a big but, with the bubble, I think a lot of guys are as focused as LeBron. And I'm thinking to myself, LeBron might not be as focused as a Jaylen Brown right now or a Jason Tatum right now. And I know Jason Tatum does have a little one, but I'm thinking to myself like, yo, LeBron's still he's a soon-to-be billionaire. To a degree, you got to believe. I know Mav Carter's holding it down. I know Rich Paul's holding it down. But you got to believe they're calling LeBron about something. LeBron's I believe LeBron is a faithful man. Do I know that to be true? No, I don't know that man like that. I don't know him and his wife, Savannah, the beautiful Queen Savannah like that. I believe Bron's faithful, and I hope he is, for all black men out there. If Bron is faithful, for all men out there, if Bron is faithful, and he cares about his wife and his kids to the utmost that we believe, and we know he loves that little Princess Zori so much. I gotta believe LeBron maybe he's not as focused as some other athletes, and this is the time where LeBron is the most focused athlete. But in normal circumstances, LeBron can go home after a playoff game when his phone is shut down. And I'm just listening to what LeBron has told us over the years. When his phone is shut down, that allows him to have time with wife and kids. But because of the state of our country, LeBron has admitted that his phone is on. So the fact that his phone is on, that tells me that he's probably COVID is still a real thing. Celebrities can catch COVID. Wives of celebrities can catch COVID. Kids of celebrities can catch COVID. He's got kids that I'm sure about to start school, and the school system is a mess. I believe LeBron is probably not as focused as he would be in a normal circumstance. So I actually think the bubble is hurting LeBron. And Anthony Davis, though I love him, he ain't put up a point that means anything thus far in his career. And that's a little harsh, because the brother is a perennial all-star, and I just can't take away from his career. What I'm trying to say is, this is where the Lakers need Anthony Davis to step up. Now, will he be Kyrie Irving? I don't think he has that in him. LeBron needs to be the best player on this team for them to be successful. Anthony Davis ain't there yet, and maybe he's never there to be that guy. Maybe the Lakers got to go out and get a third guy if Anthony Davis opts to re-sign past this year in Los Angeles. I'm looking around at some of the guard play. I am not a fan of Dion Waiters. Not a fan of him. Lazy defensively. J.R. Smith. I'm not a fan of J.R. Smith. I believe J.R. Smith's last moment of his career should have been him looking dumb during Game 1 of the 2018 NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors. Cost LeBron one of the best games of his career. He did not deserve an opportunity in this league again, in my opinion. He got one. He definitely didn't deserve another one around LeBron James. But hey, he got one. And we're here. J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters, not only are they lackadaisical on defense, they ain't just been lighting it up from the field. And you mean to tell me those dudes have garnered minutes over guys that have been playing for that Lakers rotation all year? Like a Danny Green, like a Quinn Cook, like a Alex Caruso? I know the Lakers are down Rajon Rondo and Avery Bradley. Big blows. Hopefully Rondo's back soon. But still, we ain't giving enough blame to Quinn Cook. How you just let Dion Waiters, you just got the bag this summer. How you letting Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith come in and get point guard minutes? What? Caruso, you are fighting for the bag that Quinn Cook just got. How are you letting Dion Waiters, a guy that got high off gummy bears and had a panic attack on a plane? J.R. Smith, who, salute to my mentor Stephen A. Smith, can't stay off the weed. You letting that guy get minutes over you? That's a bad sign. Danny Green can't make a shot. I'm not even sure we'll be able to keep him on the court. I'm looking at what I think the rotations to be in this series. I'm thinking LeBron's got to stick to Damian Lillard. That's what I think. I think Danny Green's got to guard CJ. Now they might go Danny Green on Dame out the gate and let LeBron guard Melo or CJ. We'll see. LeBron's gonna have to guard one of these guards, man. Period. I don't trust Kyle Kuzma. I actually think the Portland Trailblazers have more hoopers 1 through 8 than the Los Angeles Lakers do right now. But the Trailblazers don't play defense. And that's my last point. I don't think that Lakers team is equipped to go 130 a night, but they were good in the regular season offensively. I'm hoping with the bigs that they got, they bullied Yusuf Nurkic around. This Carmelo Anthony LeBron James matchup is much more interesting than you think it is. Is Melo anywhere near as good as what LeBron is at this point? Still one of the four best players in the league right now? No, and Melo's been great with his resurgence. All kudos to Carmelo Anthony. But let me tell y'all something. Carmelo Anthony's a man, and LeBron James is a man. Nothing more, nothing less, but a human. And what I mean by that is, LeBron to me ain't never loved playing Carmelo Anthony. Now, has he had great games against Melo? Yes. Melo's had some good ones against Bron. You can scratch all that stuff you talking about, how many points and assists LeBron's averaging this season. If Melo and Bron are guarding each other, think about what this means for Carmelo Anthony. I know it means a lot to LeBron. He's chasing the ghost of Chicago. His words, not mine. But think about what this means to Melo. If Melo can find a way to guard LeBron James, and obviously you can't stop somebody like that, especially in the playoffs, but if you do a noticeably good job, and Andre Iguodala good job, which got him the Finals MVP against LeBron, a Kawhi Leonard good job, which got him a Finals MVP against LeBron, even though LeBron still averaged like 30 in both of those series. If you could do enough where people are like, yo, Melo really made it tough for Bron, Melo's getting another contract or two to end his career. Portland won't have a choice but to bring Melo back. I think they will bring Carmelo back right now, but if Melo does a great job and leads the Trailblazers past the Lakers, an 8-1 upset, the Portland Trailblazers' hands are tied this summer. They will have to give Melo a new deal. And if you think Melo's team ain't talking about that, that means Melo will then get to go out on his own terms. And by the way, Carmelo Anthony never loved the idea of playing with Portland. You heard Damian Lillard say it already. Melo could have been in Portland a long time ago. He didn't want to go to Portland. Well, Melo knows he's a smart dude. He ain't going to have to play in Portland next year, most likely. They're going to be right back in the bubble in Orlando for the next year. You don't think Melo's thinking, I don't mind playing in this out? Remember, Miami was one of the teams on his short list that he wanted to play for. It was the California teams. It was obviously he would have loved to play for the Nets. And it was Miami. It's not Miami, but he is down there in Florida. I'm sure somewhere that I'm sure Melo can, you know what I mean, in his spare time, he can get a nice little crib down there, get some boats going down there. This is a good space for Melo. This is a good place for Carmelo Anthony. It's just basketball in Florida. And I believe he's going to go hard. So I think Melo's going to have a say in this series. But with all that being said, like I said, the Trailblazers don't play defense at all. And LeBron is still one of the 3-4 best players in the world. I believe the Lakers have enough to win a championship. If you're telling me LeBron is your greatest of all time, no excuses. I'm picking the Los Angeles Lakers to win this series in 7 games. 7 games. This is a 7-game series. A tough series that I believe is going to see the Lakers get blown out twice. A lot of times I think the Lakers are going to struggle to pull games out, but they will. 7-game, all-you-can-handle series from the Portland Trailblazers. But I do believe LeBron, Anthony Davis will get theirs down low, attack the rim, foul out Melo and Yusuf Nurkic at some point, and win this one in 7 games. Y'all let me know in the comment box below. Who do you have winning? This shouldn't be this interesting, but it definitely is 1 versus 8 matchup between the Portland Trailblazers and the Los Angeles Lakers. I got Lakers in 7. I'm out.